Okay. We are streaming and it is public and I don't see a chat. Is there a studio mode for chat? That is not what that does. All right. How do I see chat? Which you can't do from OBS, can you?
No, do you need to go to your live?
Let's see. Go live. All right. Okay, we're live there. Here we go.
Just pause it on the.
No, it's public. It's live now.
Oh, I just meant when it on your other window there.
Okay, connecting stream software to go live. Viewers will be able to find your stream once you go.
Oh,
which I did, so
okay.
It should be like
okay. We're good.
Popping here in a minute. You want to grab your phone, check how it looks and sounds? Well, for some reason, I don't see my stream in the studio, but if we're live, we're going to check it and get started here. We're live. All right. Can you turn your volume up and hear it? Hello, hello. We are live, about to start making coffee. I can hear me. Okay, guys, if there's anyone in chat, which I can't even tell if there is or not. Hello. We're going to start making some coffee. Sound off below if you can hear me, if things look okay. We're trying to make a few improvements to the stream, so we're using OBS today, so we're learning. Sorry about the rough start. We are going to brew some coffee today. We got the Kalita wave out. We're going to do like 15 gram brews. We're going to do like 3 or 4. We're going to start off with some decaf. We're not going to go as hard as we did last time, but we got some new stuff to check out. So excuse us if this is kind of a little rougher stream. We're going to manage it and see how it goes. So hang on, and I'm going to get the Instagram stream going because that's not going right now. All right.
Wait, do you want to bring your OBS?
Oh, it's just
over.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. So for whatever reason, it's not connecting the video to YouTube, but
yeah, that's
like
fine.
there is chat there.
Yeah,
so theoretically, we'll see chat, but who knows? Okay. All right. So I'm going to start brewing. Kalita brews. We've got our filters right here. We've got enough for today there. And we're going to start with decaf. So we got a Peru decaf, and I'll talk about it more in just a minute. Hang out, grab some coffee, and chill with us. Just be 1 minute. So Derek, we have, oh my gosh, I gone and done did it. We have multiple coffees to choose from today. We have a Ethiopia Kambata that's not roasted by me, if you want to try that. We have Ethiopia Gedeb of multiple kinds, if you want to reach back and try those again. We have a little bit more of Timor. We have that's Gedeb. I have too much coffee. So we have more Timor. We have Peru. We have Ethiopia Kambata. We do have Kambata that I roasted.
Okay.
And I think it's 15 grams.
And you have a different one that somebody else roasted.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can do both of those if you want. But mine's much newer, so it might not be very good.
Right.
Alright.
But no, that'd be interesting. Even though they're not at the same age, you know.
Well, I know
we'll see.
From all Kambata roasts I've done in the past, they've needed like 2 to 3 weeks.
Right.
It's just absolutely required. So we could try it, but I've only got 15 grams.
Oh.
Right. So if we try it, there's no more trying it.
Yeah.
240 to 280. So we're doing Kalita Wave today. 15 gram brews. We are working with the 155 Kalita. That's the one I've got small. I like it a lot. Let's see. You're telling your followers that you started a live video. Okay, so theoretically that's gonna go to. So we're doing Kalita Wave 155, 15 gram brews, 1:16 ratio. I'm gonna do like 210 degree water because we don't have anything even close to dark. We've got some Timor we could do, which is like a medium.
I was doing 208.
Yeah, it's fine.
So oh.
Anything that's like relatively medium to light, you can boil and be pretty safe, unless you're doing other things that tip you up to potentially over extracting. Like your grind size could be a little too fine. You could over extract that way with boiling water. So that's why it's important to get your grind size right. Well, one of the reasons. If you are you're just using boiling water, then it's going to be even more important that you get your grind size right, because you could be potentially over extracting your coffee based on what level of roast your coffee is.
Interesting. I might have run into that.
You could. All right. So we're starting with Peru today.
Peru.
This is a decaf. Peruvian decaf that I roasted 222 and today is 224. I have my 15 grams. We're doing 5 on the oat. Well, yeah, today for Kalita we'll do 5 across the board. So we have our grounds here. Okay, buddy. We have our water ready. So I'm going to get my filter, I'm going to pre-wet my filter here. 40 grams. All right. I'm a little concerned, to be honest.
It said 2 watchers on YouTube. So.
Oh, it did?
Somebody's there.
All right. If you're watching, I would love if you said anything in the chat just so I can confirm that that's working for me. If you do say something and I can't see it, then I'm not going to change anything. Unfortunately, I won't be able to read comments unless we check in on a phone, on your phone. But
I think it'll go through.
Oh, we'll see.
We'll see. Maybe.
All right, so we're starting with Peru. I think this was about a 16% weight loss for this Peru. So in a good, clean, medium range. It's hot. Okay. So we pre-wet our filter already. And we are getting 15 grams in. Smells pretty good. We have boiling water here.
How do you see chat on your phone?
I don't know. I don't really watch streams from my phone. You're not on the YouTube app. I think you have to be on the app.
Okay.
Okay. So we are blooming here with our Kalita. And the Instagram's not picking up anybody. Totally strange. Anyway, we're going to do it regardless. 35 seconds. I'm going to wait till about 40 seconds here.
What's the max brew size that you would be doing for a Kalita Wave?
For the 155, I'll do 20 gram brews comfortably. 25 gets a little bit up there.
Yeah.
If it's a fresh set of coffee, if the grounds are really like super gaseous, 25 grams is about as much as you want to do in the 155. However, I've done 30 and 35 if the grounds are like older and there's not like a huge bloom. You just got to go a little slower.
Yeah, with this being 15, right?
15 is like perfect, honestly.
Right. Because the last time it was almost overflowing, and
Yeah.
that just gets.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
A little touchy
I like
with
to. I like to find out where those boundaries are. That way, I know for the future. But 15 grams, really comfortable with enough space for a good bloom without getting too close to the top of the filter. 20 grams, totally possible. You might need to be a little more delicate. Still totally fine. 25 is pushing it. Okay. And with 15 grams, we'll be approaching maybe 215 with this brew. That's totally fine.
Another thing, because the Kalita wave has 3 holes, right?
Mhm.
Does it go faster than a V60?
You would think so, but no.
Oh.
So I think it has something to do with the hole size. And
Okay.
also, it's not funneling down at a rate towards the one hole.
Okay, the slope's not as
Yeah,
steep.
yeah. So it evenly goes down at one kind of
Okay.
rate, and the holes are, I think, a little bit smaller than the V60 hole.
Okay.
Well, it definitely is, because look at the V60.
Yep.
Yeah, so the Kalita waves holes altogether are probably smaller than the surface area available for the brew in the V60. So that's why. You would think with more holes equals faster brew, but no. Okay. I think it's very strange I've not had anybody in the Instagram. Okay. Alright, so this is the Peru. We're trying not to go crazy with caffeine today. So, this is a Peruvian decaf I'm going to have at the market this weekend. The nice thing about, well, it's like a double-edged sword. The nice thing about working with decaf is, as long as it's drinkable, most people who need decaf are like totally happy with the quality, kind of across the board, as long as it comes close to their expectations. So what I need to do is taste it, come up with a set of expectations. It's a fairly light-looking brew.
Yeah.
It might actually be a little lighter than medium. As long as the expectations are there for my customers, they're going to be happy. Having a decaf option at all, people really, the ones who seek it, get really happy when I have an option for them, because
especially if it's reasonably good.
Yeah.
That's
So we have one reference point for a decaf that I've done, that I've brought to market. I've done multiple, but I've only ever found one that I was like really happy with, and that was a Guatemala decaf, a Huehue Tenango. It was really kind of sophisticated, a little winey, nice and cocoa-y. Okay, bud, just give me a minute. So we're tasting this coffee today with some expectations, but I'll let you know what the notes were supposed to be. Just a minute, buddy. Go sit down. Oh, interesting. It's very dry, right? The aroma's not as sweet as others we've had recently, but it shouldn't be. I mean,
when you say dry, what do you?
like a dry wine, like a drying, like when we say like dried berries almost.
Okay.
Hey, you just had milk. Sit down, bud. I'll give you some water. Get up. Just a minute. Hey. I just gave you some water, or I just gave you some milk. You're okay. You want some more chips? Do you want a banana? Yeah. Okay, hang on. What are you tasting? Tell me.
So one thing I'm thinking is, it's actually pretty good. But in the way that you're saying dry, it's almost like some coffees, how they're so bright.
Yeah.
In this one, it's there's some sweetness, but it just doesn't explode as much, I guess. Which still totally works. I mean, it's...
All right. Let me give this another shot here.
I'm actually surprised it's this flavorful.
You're not just saying that?
I'm not just saying that either. Like, I wasn't...
I like the
especially
smell.
being decaf. There's... Again, the other one was Guatemala, so I mean, that's just... Guatemala standard
Yeah,
cocoa floral mix.
There was something very good about Guatemala.
Right.
I have to give it full credit. For a decaf, it's really hard to find good quality that isn't super affected by the decaf process, because what I've heard from other people is the decaffeination process, at least for Swiss water process. Jeez.
Yeah.
Mountain water process, Swiss water process. At least for those, the process can be damaging enough to the flavor, the resulting flavor.
Strips it out.
There's people who can detect this was water process because it can be stripping. Yeah, like so.
And I don't have enough experience to exactly tell, but I feel like I can tell that it's not as vibrant as maybe a regular or as a caffeinated coffee.
So we also have to keep in mind this is Peru, so it's South America.
I was expecting nutty somewhere in there,
a little nutty, a little earthy, a little higher acidity, not super fruity, not overtly fruity at all.
Right, just a little bit of a mix.
Yeah,
and so I like this citrus or something that way, some sort of. It's pretty. Okay, I would say orange. It's like orange peel.
So yeah, let me give you. I don't know where the notes are. They're probably on my phone. So if there's any citrus, it's going to be in the orange.
Okay.
So you're right on there. Caramel, and I believe baker's cocoa, and there was one other thing, but it was fairly subtle. Creamy body.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Baker's cocoa, creamy body, caramel, orange. That was the notes from Coffee Bean Corral. That's what they put. And I'm hoping to get in that area so I can have a set of expectations when I roast more. I'm going to taste it again.
The creamy body is, again, for it being decaf, I can match it to some of those coffees that have a velvety texture.
Right.
It's in that, but it's very smooth. It's enjoyable. For it being decaf, this is, if you wanted something that has a little sweetness, but still some cocoa,
Yeah, I think when I said this is a little dry, I think it's in the baker's cocoa type of chocolate.
It's a dusty cocoa sensation.
Right, which isn't super unfair.
It's good. It's not bitter. For this, it makes the orange work. Everything is just. Yeah.
If I can back up a little bit, we tend to be a little bit more judgmental for decafs because we have.
We want to find the best.
Well, we have these what are they the predetermined expectations for decaf being less quality, but that's not always the case. There can be elements of the decaf process, affecting, but for the bean itself, for the farm, what they've produced it's enjoyable. The expectations are right with Coffee Bean Corral. I think personally, and my customers would probably like this a little darker, just a little, to probably lean more into the cocoa.
If I would say this is a very nice decaf breakfast blend of the sort. Yeah, if that's what you're looking for, or a nice after dinner. If you want a decaf, but if you want something that's a little bit more darker, smokier, you'd have to go roast it a little bit.
Right. Creamy body is there. It's a little lighter than I want.
It's lighter than, say, Blue Mountain, Jamaica Blue Mountain. That was super.
Yeah,
velvet.
that was very velvety.
So it's not as strong as that.
Okay, so I'm seeing chat now. I just opened up. Careful, bud.
Oh.
So here's chat. All right, you good, carry on. Is the drawdown faster or slower than V60? It is about the same. Your expectations for the brew size are going to translate over to a very similar brew experience as far as drawdown time goes on the Kalita versus the V60. What's more important is you get your grind size correct for the experience you want to have out of the brews, and then adjust your expectations for a brew time from there. But it's going to translate pretty equally to V60, I would say, for same grind size. Yeah. So I have been brewing similar grind size. In the past, I've been brewing one full notch down on the Ode, so 4 on the Kalita Wave versus 5 on V60. Lately, I've been trying higher grind sizes on Kalita, getting pretty good experiences. So I've brought it up to 5 to match the V60. And I did try up to 6 the other day with the Benko Gotiti Ethiopia Kadeb coffee, and it was a little sour. It was a little fast, so I brought it back down to 5 on the Kalita. Things seem to be very well managed at a similar V60 grind size for me lately. If you're still here, thanks for sticking with me until I answered your question, because YouTube Studio was not throwing me the chat. I just logged in to the stream myself, so I'm watching the stream after I'm watching the stream after I'm watching. So thanks for bearing with me, guys. And if you're on Instagram now, hi, how you doing? We're here. So we're doing Kalita Wave, 1:16 ratio. We're boiling for our water temp. This is Peru decaf. It's pretty good.
I'm gonna need some more.
Yeah. I mean, it's decaf, so you can go crazy.
Yeah.
We're not going to do 6 brews today. We're going to do this Peru. We're going to do Ethiopia Kambata next. And maybe Timor or the Gadeb from the week prior. And then call it a day, I think. We don't need to go crazy today. Anyway, yeah, this is very good. I think my decaf people will be happy. I have 2 bags available for market this weekend. And then for the next week, if they sell, I'll roast it a little darker.
Yeah,
it's good.
This is a good, like,
you know what,
light version of it.
It's giving me similar tasting notes to that one coffee I had a while ago with the toasted marshmallow. Do you remember what that was? Was that a Costa Rica?
That was one we did just recently. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
That was brown sugar apple.
No. That was one before.
Oh.
If you guys remember.
Great.
But yeah, we had I go through too much coffee to remember them all the time, but we had a coffee recently that was toasted marshmallow. Do you feel like it's similar in the flavor range? It's not quite as like dry as that.
Right.
I can remember it because I'm tasting this.
This is just a nice light creamy body.
Yeah.
It gives you kind of little explosions of orange sweetness, and it's yeah,
it's good. All right, shall we move on, or do you want the rest of that? Because it's decaf. You can just do it.
All right, I'll do it.
Do it. All right, no waste. 15-gram brews means no waste from us today. It's very little waste.
It's really that dry baker's cocoa. Is that?
Yeah, baker's cocoa.
Yeah, totally. It's just very fluffy, like for a coffee.
It's pretty good.
It's interesting.
It's enjoyable. It's easy drinking.
Was it the Timor? That one we said was heavy cocoa, and that had a cocoa, almost a similar sensation where sometimes on your tongue it would just kind of feel powdery like.
Right. The opposite to a lot of Ethiopian coffees, where it's refreshing almost, where it's like you like almost drinking like water in a sensation way, right?
Yeah.
It's different, yeah. So we're going to get Ethiopia Kambata going next. It is an excellent coffee. Now this one I did not roast. I have a friend who visits me at my local farmer's market who has just started getting into coffee roasting. And he's given me some awesome stuff. And I'm giving him some feedback as I go through this roast batch that he's given me. And I'm excited because I've had Kambata for a while now. I know what it can taste like, and I'm helping him grow as a roaster, so this is going to be fun. Alright. Now, compared to Guatemala, which would you take? Do you remember how that tasted?
Yeah, Guatemala was good.
Yeah.
It just depends on the mood. And if you were to roast this darker, I'd definitely try that to see where it goes.
I agree.
But if I was in the mood, for a little bit of a sweet coffee, just something not too dark, or this one so far, it's very good.
It's kind of like a Goldilocks, right? Like right in the middle. People who don't like super light coffees could probably still like this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is smelling right, man. This is smelling good.
And for it being decaf, again, that's surprising.
Right. This is starting to smell like blueberries over here. All right. that smells good. Just letting the water warm up here.
What Kalita was this? Yours? Or?
This is his.
His, okay.
So he said 13% weight loss. So, that's going to be right in line
That's
with lighter fruit.
Very good blueberry smelling.
It's where you want it to be. Now, if you've been following along my roasting journey, I've been dealing with Kalita for months now. Actually, like 6 months, something like that. I've brought it back often because it results in great coffee. But one of the things about Ethiopia Kalita, this coffee in particular, it needs at least 2, sometimes 3 full weeks after it's been roasted to fully degas and then develop this amazing blueberry profile. It's like baking blueberry muffins. It is wild. But this has only been, that was roasted 211, so we are at 13 days. So if this is good now, then he's got something going on that has kind of activated that faster.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, if it's a decast thing or if it's part of the roast profile. But I've roasted this thing so many different ways, and it continuously has this thing where it needs like 3 weeks. It's frustrating because you got to wait a long time to have it at its best.
But when you smell that,
that's great. It smells amazing.
That blueberry, the sour, sweet. Oh, it's perfect. It's worth it just for the smelling.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not even super sour, right? Like it's acidic in its flavor profile for blueberry.
Right.
But it's got this milk chocolate profile too.
Right, there's that almost what would I say? Like you said, muffin like aroma that goes with it.
Right. Go sit down, buddy. We're doing a video right now. All right. Alrighty. Okay. The only thing that bugs me about brewing with a Kalita Wave, and maybe it's me, and I don't know how to use a filter, this happens sometimes.
Oh.
Where like the little ripples, one of them will like collapse in on itself, and then I have to like try to fix it. And I never fix it very well. Anyway, let's get our coffee in. All right. So once you get water in, it should expand, and then that's not going to be an issue really. Okay. Hey, how'd you do that?
Well, I think it just was a little wet.
Okay. Here we go. So 15 gram brews, 1:16 ratio. This is an Ethiopia Kalita. 30 grams for the bloom. Give it a little agitation, and you can see it's got some CO2 still in there, so it's expanding. It's blooming. Okay. Oh, we're at 30 seconds here. I'm going to give it another 5 seconds or so. All right. You don't have to pour too fast either. With the Kalita Wave, like I said, it translates to a very similar drawdown time for V60. But with it being such a small brew, if you give it just, as long as you give it even pouring, if your pouring technique is even across the board, circles still help, you're going to be all right. You don't have to go too fast. I do stop and give it a little agitation most of the time if I remember. And then get right back to pouring. Because it is a smaller device. There's less coffee. It's a smaller device, so the drawdown time is going to be faster because it's a smaller brew, but it's at a proportional rate to the V60. So if you do 20, 25 gram brews on the V60 and they take 2.5, 3 minutes, these 15 gram brews take about 2 minutes, maybe 2:15. That's the expectation. And we're at 150 here, and it should finish at like 210. I'm also not writing anything down today. We are pretty much just having fun here. I have some Kambata for me to roast that I have roasted, but I've done it so much that I'm so familiar with it that I don't need to continue to write down those notes all the time. As long as I'm tasting it, I have many references for this Kambata. So we're not writing anything down. We're just having some fun. I'll get one. Oh boy. Sorry if you hear my refrigerator buzzing. All right. You gotta go sit down, buddy. We're doing a video right now, okay? She's at work. Let's sit down. All right. So you've got Ethiopia Kambata, 1:16 ratio on the Kalita. This is about 2 weeks after roast, so really we're in range for it to start tasting like its best. William. All right. Please go sit down, buddy. Here we go. Good aroma. Very sweet. Mm-hmm. Ooh. That's it, man. That's wild. And it's still hot, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, when it cools down, you should only taste it more. It should only be a little bit more perceptive.
Yeah.
And right away, it is explosive.
Yep. That is blueberry.
Wow. I'm going to be very happy to report that to him. Yeah. Wow. That's excellent. That's about as good as I've ever done it. And this isn't mine, you know. So he's got the, I don't remember what roaster it is. I can't remember, but it only does about 100 grams. So where I'm doing 800 grams and getting 3 8-ounce bags out per batch, he's only able to do 100. So that's like, you know, you use 20 grams or so in one shot of espresso. So you get 5 espresso shots in a whole batch of a roasted batch.
So it's still hot, but...
Hey, William, please stop, buddy, okay?
I feel like... How old is this again? Is it 2 weeks? Maybe it needs 3? Maybe.
You think it's not quite there?
Part of it's there. Or it's just what I'm expecting. I don't know. Just the back half seems like I'm expecting something and it just doesn't.
I think it's missing like the rounded,
a little bit more chocolate. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
It's a little light. It's got the blueberry.
It's very, very blueberry.
But it's missing that chocolate component.
Yeah.
That makes it a little smooth. That makes it a little bit more bodied. You know what I mean? I think we're picking up on the same thing now.
And what do we know what percentage that this was?
13.
Okay, so this is
it's very light.
That's very light. Yeah.
I'm usually in the 14% range.
And if you, I mean, there's nothing wrong. I guess I was just what I was expecting. I guess I didn't have my percentage right. But.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised this is the way it tastes based on that alone.
Right.
However, we know it can take 3 weeks sometimes to develop its best profile. So I'm going to try it again in another week or so. But I'm going to be happy to report to him that this is much better than the first time I tried it, which was 2 or 3 days after roast.
Okay.
So
it's all there.
It's pretty well elevated above what it was.
It's just that depending on your preference, if you like it on the lighter side, even lighter.
Yeah.
Then yeah. But no, this is.
That's excellent.
Knowing that helps. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a pretty light brew. The redder, more auburn color you get. I don't know if you guys can see that through the light. That indicates roast level too. Just like the grounds, the color of your coffee grounds, that can indicate roast level. The darker they are, the darker the roast is. where the logic lies. So it does look fairly light to me. It tastes fairly light in body. It tastes lighter in a...
It's getting better as it cooled down there.
Yeah.
Everything's coming together. You miss out on that little bit of the milk chocolate backing, but very berry.
That's all that's missing.
Very blueberry. Very good.
The best quality of this is present.
Yeah.
So it's just missing its like support.
Yes.
Really of that chocolate, that milk. In fact, this would be excellent to blend with right now. If you had like Jamaica, holy smokes! Imagine that.
You're taking the best of the blueberry part of Kambata, and then you can mix it with something else.
This with some Blue Mountain coffee, Haiti or Jamaica, like the velvety, smooth chocolatiness of Jamaica. This with Jamaica would be amazing.
Yeah.
I wish we had some.
I know. I can remember the Blue Mountain Jamaica, just that velvet, blackberry-ish texture and flavor. That's just...
Or even like Bolivia and that caramel.
Yeah.
Chocolate caramel thing. Definitely. There's a lot of options for coffees out there with a good support structure of chocolate or something like that to really... If you're looking at blending, often what shops will do is blend a fruity Ethiopian with something with a chocolate base or caramel, and often it's not just 2, it's 3, 4, 5 different things. So this is good. What you want? All right, go sit down and get it. All right, so that's good. Any final notes on that as it cools?
It's just right.
I'm going to test it again in a week and see if it's got more behind the blueberry.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's pretty dang good where it's at. All right, so we're going to move on. Do you want the rest of that?
No, I got to make it through the rest.
I've already had coffee before today, so I'm going to pass on it as well. As good as it is, because it definitely is.
I know. It's a shame to even waste that much. But
I know. All right. Next, we've got Ethiopia Gedeb, Banco Gotivi. Now, you have some options. I want you to pick one. We have a 14.5%. That was the final roast I did of it. We have a slightly... Oh, wait, did I use all that one? Oh, no, we have a 15.5%, which, honestly, my best brew came out of this one. And then we have a 16.5, which smells a little too dark. So, you decide.
15.5?
Yeah, 15.5.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, I haven't had that one in a little while. It smells pretty good. But it is, so 210. So we're looking at 14 days past roast is not bad at all. For I mean, this is a medium roast, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. I need my cup. Can I bring it over?
Oh, it's over here. Yep.
Yeah. And get our water on. 280. It's definitely got more of like a sour punchiness here. Ooh. This is the one with the Sweet Maria's, called it bubblegum sweetness, bubble sugar, something like pink bubblegum. I don't agree. Frankly, I do think there is some sugary sweetness behind the nectarine. And that's what I'm going to stick to there. It smells good though.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us on Instagram or here on YouTube, we are brewing coffee on the Kalita Wave, making teeny tiny little 15-gram brews. We did a Peru decaf. We just did Ethiopia Kambata, like a blueberry, very blueberry forward coffee. And now we're going to another Ethiopia from the Gadeb region. We did this last week. I've had it for a little while now. We're still testing its progression over now a 2-week roast, post-roast resting period. I think it's going to be great. We're going to try it out. Coming in hot. Oh, I need my scale. All right. So we've got boiling water, and we're gonna get our filter pre-wet here. Shouldn't have sat down actually. I use about 40 grams to do that. All right. Let me go empty this out. I'll be right back. Okay. Get our coffee in. Get it going. 15 grams in, so we're looking at a 30-gram bloom. I always give a little agitation during the bloom, help that process along. And then I wait usually somewhere between 30 and 45 seconds. I feel that closer to 30 seconds is fine for smaller brews. There's less coffee, which means there's less gas. I have to imagine that it's probably similar to waiting 45 seconds on a larger brew for the bloom. So we're at 40 seconds. I'm just going to send it. And then I try to stop at about 1/3 intervals during the brew to agitate. So we're going to stop right about there. Give it a little shake. Don't need much at all. Go right back to pouring. We're at a minute now total time. I'm going to stop there. Give it just a second. Give it a little wiggle. Get those grounds mixed up. Start pouring again. And this should be my final pour.
Now you were saying 30 seconds for your bloom?
For a small brew size, I think that's fine. For like 15 grams.
If you were to go like 45, would you be possibly over extracting them?
I don't think so. I think that's too subtle of a difference.
Okay.
I have heard of people doing like minutes long blooms, and that's with intention of trying to extract more. Then when you do things like that to try to extract more, because you don't think you're getting proper extraction, if your boiling temperature, if your grinds are fairly fine, whatever, if you're in that space, that's a very different approach to brewing in general. Not something I've played around with. However, I do like osmotic flow. That technique I'll do a video on soon, where you bloom it, and then it's still the same bloom time, but you don't pour it such that you try to get the water going all over the place. You stick with a center pour the whole time, very slow. What it does is it keeps the grounds saturated, and you're still extracting. It's just there's no agitation whatsoever. And what happens is the drawdown is slower, and so you're getting a bigger bodied coffee. I like that method. It doesn't really have much to do with the difference in bloom, but there's different approaches to trying to extract that definitely can affect, things like body and acidity. But no, as far as bloom, 30 seconds versus 45, in this case, I don't think it's a big difference. I just think you can get away with 30 seconds because it's a smaller brew. Okay. Ethiopia Gedeb. Benko Gotiti is the farm name. This is a washed coffee, and that's important because most Ethiopias you're going to find are natural processed coffees, but that's okay. It still has some great qualities. We've tried this before. Not too light compared to the Peru, right? It's fairly in the medium range. Yeah. Now keep in mind, this is boiling, so wait a little bit. Yeah, I mean, drink however you feel, but remember to wait a little bit. You get a little more flavor range. The aroma's super sweet. It's got that
the sugar,
zesty.
It has. I'm getting like a sugary smell.
Yeah.
It's the powdered sugar on bubblegum. That's what I'm getting.
In the aroma.
Right.
I'm definitely smelling like the zesty citrus of nectarine.
Oh, that's there too, yeah. It's a combo of those.
Yeah. It's a heavy hitter in those departments for sure.
And this...
Goodness, it's so sweet.
You said nectarine?
Yeah.
There's a difference between this and the decaf we just had, which was definitely like orange
but it's
peel.
more subdued. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's good. Ooh. That's got some flavor. And the last time I brewed this, oh my god.
It's there, isn't it? I don't know what we got. I'll try it again. But did you get like that little? It was a lasting sugary powder thing.
Tell me this doesn't taste like you just bit into a nectarine. Let it cool. Do you agree?
I don't know about that nectarine.
Maybe you haven't had it. Think about an orange. Think about
you're just saying the juiciness of,
I don't know, man. I've had a nectarine, and I think it tastes like nectarine. This is wild. It's like nectarine juice. This is ridiculous. It's not so if I can explain it to you, the difference between nectarine and like a regular orange is like a higher, brighter acidity.
Okay.
A little bit more sour.
Yeah.
It's definitely different. So when you're biting into orange, there's like a more rounded juiciness that's a more blend of sour sweet, where nectarine is a little more sour, a little more acidic, a little brighter.
I get that, yeah.
So to me, I've had nectarines before. This tastes like a nectarine, and it is complemented by this sugary something.
It's kind of
I do
fading.
not want to call it pink bubblegum.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
But god dang, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
And the other note was dark chocolate. But dark chocolate takes such a backseat to this citrus profile.
It's there, but it's doing its part, I feel like.
Yeah.
Giving it a... So the Combata that we just had, when you drink that, it's blueberry, it's heavy, and then how it's very good. But the lacking of the chocolate just kind of...
Right. It's like, again, this is one of the reasons why people blend coffees. It's when there's a coffee that's so good in some way, blueberry, for example, or nectarine, but you feel like there's a component that could help it.
It's almost like some pies are just better when they have a crust.
Sure.
Some aren't.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
I think there's some coffees that just need a little help when there's like, when you've got the flavor wheel and it's like all the way berry and like no chocolate, and you feel like if you want that, awesome. But for espresso especially, because you taste the extremes with espresso, everything is amplified, right? What you really want is to find a balance for your palate. You want balance unless you're super specific and you're looking for basically blueberry juice or nectarine sourness. A balance for your palate is important. So finding the right coffees to pull very specific qualities from is kind of my job, and jobs of roasters, and to a certain extent cafes and what they're doing with their coffees. So this is an excellent, like a 9 out of 10 coffee. if it had a little more chocolate substance, I would be like, great coffee. You know.
You said what was the other choice you had when it was a little bit darker?
I had a 16.6, but it smelled a little too roasty.
Okay. Because that's what I get is this is excellent.
Yeah.
But I just want a little bit more chocolate to.
And this is where blending comes in. Like,
yeah.
If it's not perfect, but it has otherwise amazing qualities, you got to find another coffee with an amazing quality you think works well. Yeah. Like we just talked about with Jamaica and Kambata. Mm-hmm. Jamaica has that wonderful velvety substance that you can't mix it up with any other coffee. It's so distinguishable. This, I will never taste another coffee just like this. This like nectarine juice.
Yeah.
But if it had caramel or chocolate that just like amplified and rounded out the flavor profile, the flavor range, it would be like stellar, right? You okay? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on. You're not supposed to use that one, right? Right. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. We are going to do one more coffee. And then we're going to call it a day. And then we're going to get lunch, I think. But that was good. Banco Gotiti is the farm name. Yeah, on Instagram, how you guys doing? Lee, if you're still here, this was excellent. I recommend it. This is on Sweet Maria's. I think you can still get it. It was like $8.15, $8.30 a pound, but I think you can get a little lower if you buy like 5 or 10 pounds. Ethiopia Gedeb Banco Gotiti. Super recommend. Like 2 weeks after roast, even a week and a half after roast, I was tasting nectarine so dominantly. Like it's so present. It's amazing. Very good coffee. All right, we're going to do one more, and that's it. Thank you. All right, guys. Thanks for bearing with me while I go between brews here. Get our water ready. All right.
What's our last one again?
I think we're going to do a Timor.
A Timor, okay. What percentage?
I'll tell you in just a second.
Yeah, so far, these coffees, the Kambata, the Gedeb, they have a fruit that they do very well. Yeah. Whether it's blueberry or nectarine.
The other thing we could do is a Columbia Supremo. I ground it 2 weeks ago, though.
You can pick one. I only can do one.
Let's do Timor.
Yeah.
Timor's good. All right. Oh, the bag smells good. This one needed a little bit of time too.
I'll come check out this. We got a good comment.
Oh yeah?
You'll be more knowledgeable than me.
All right, hang on. I'll be right there.
They're mentioning an Ecuador coffee with banana flavors.
Oh, Lee. Okay, very awesome. I'll have to share an Ecuador. Yeah, banana.
I haven't.
Very.
Have you had anything with banana?
No.
Okay.
I think I ordered something once a long time ago, and I couldn't even get close to roasting it correctly. It was so long ago.
That sounds.
Ecuador is not a coffee origin that I've ever had. I would love to try an Ecuador coffee. If you've got enough to share, we'll do a swap. I'll send you something. Here's two more. Hang on, let me help him out. Hold on, buddy. That's a different one. Here. You can't do that one. All right. Well, it's installed. Let's see. You can play this one here. Okay, the racing one. There you go. No, I know, but the other one's not ready. Go ahead and play. All right.
Racing pups.
I know. You can play racing pups. Okay. Water's ready. So this is Timor. We're just pre-wetting the filter here again. Timor we've had on stream. See?
Yeah.
I don't understand what I do wrong.
I wonder if it was flared out a little bit more. That would not the filter itself, but the
the actual brew device. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm
or
the
do
problem.
they just need less crinkled filters?
I'm the problem. I'm just gonna chalk it up to me. Because that's happened to me on more than one occasion, and I don't know what to do about it. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk. Yep, roast. Oh, if you don't have enough, just don't worry about me. I'll find it. Got it from the Captain's Coffee. Yeah, I've heard recommendations for Captain's Coffee before. I'll have to look on that. I haven't actually searched outside of Sweet Maria's and Coffee Bean Corral yet, but I did just buy my annual membership with Coffee Bean Corral, so most of my stuff is going to come from them so I can recoup that cost. Alright, Captain's Coffee. I'll have to check that out, though. Okay. Here we go. So like I said, this is a Timor. So that's a southern Indonesian island, right? Is it?
I don't know if it is part of Indonesia, but it's on the southeast tip area region of the world.
Yeah, excellent coffee. We've had it before a few times. What would we say? Heavy cocoa profile.
Yeah.
Followed by stone fruit. And we've narrowed it down.
I would say
apricot.
it's apricot.
Okay. Apricot. That was, according to your last brew, you were able to pick up on that pretty well.
Big apricot.
I've had one coffee in my life that tasted basically like apricot juice. It was in Ethiopia, and I loved it. And this hasn't got close to me yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still in like the stone fruit territory.
This is probably the first apricot. So yeah, maybe it's a lesser, but
than what I've had.
For what I've,
yeah,
at least what I was getting with it.
Well, maybe we'll find it here.
It was at least distinguishable.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Where stone fruit, you can get that like pear, just unknown, like something, but you're not sure. Where this, it's
totally
apricot stuff.
It says flavors of orange, caramel, raisin, and banana. Ooh, wow. And so, what can you tell me a little bit about your roasting process for that? Do you know the weight percentage, the loss? And if you've been able to detect the banana very well?
Yeah, I mean, banana, would that be like... trying to think.
I mean, that's quite a different flavor, right? An Ecuadorian coffee. That's new to me. I wonder what their export looks like relative to some of the other countries right now. It's probably pretty small because I don't see them pop up at all. So this is a 13.5% weight loss. I don't know if that's similar to what you have at the house now.
I feel like yeah.
Oh, okay.
This
so
is like
relatively
your
light. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'd have to check, but I think it's a medium light.
Okay, I probably put mid light. I have a tendency to, even though it probably could be labeled as light, I have a tendency to label mid light because I don't get very close to what I would consider light very often.
Right.
Here we go. So our last coffee of the day. I know it's just shorter stream, but we just can't do 6 brews anymore. I was okay, but
I wasn't in a
one of us
caffeinated coma.
One of us was feeling heavy effects. Okay. Hold on, bud. Hold on. I'll need to let this cool off anyway for a second. Timor. Kalita Wave. Kalita Wave 155. I took it to about 16%. So medium seems to have better flavors now about 2 weeks after roasting. Yeah, that sounds about right. 16% for something that has notes of orange and banana. I would feel like I would want to go light and try to find that. I don't know if you've experimented with other profiles yet with it, but caramel and orange definitely are totally fine in the medium range too. Like, you'll get those. Those will be supporting flavor profiles. But banana just seems so out there to me that I would be like, let's go lighter and find that banana.
Yeah, I don't even know what to think. If somebody said, "Oh, this coffee tastes like banana," like
right. Here, William, let me help you.
That'll be a new one.
Let me help you. Here you go. Okay. This has to be our last one anyway. It looks like my battery's getting low. All right.
It's still hot, but
so was this the one with? No, that was cocoa,
heavy cocoa, apricot, stone fruit.
Whoa, this tastes different than I remember.
No, I don't know. Did we do this one on the Kalita Wave?
Maybe not.
I can't remember, but
well, we did V60 last time.
Yeah.
So if we did, it would have been 2 weeks ago.
I just had it on the V60 a couple days ago, so that's my reference. And so this could be it. I think this is taking away some of that cocoa flavor. Just that how the Kalita Wave, sweetens.
Well, that's what tends to happen as things get less muddy. When you have a lighter roast, things start off a little bit complex and muddy. And as time goes on, the degas process helps those identifying tastes come out. And sometimes those identifiers, like blueberry and the Kambata, become the dominant flavor. Mm-hmm. Whereas early on, like the chocolate muddiness can be what's defining it. So here we might have lost its heavy cocoa marker. Like, I wouldn't say heavy anymore, because whatever stone fruit qualities are going on, they're really picking up.
It's this like bright juiciness of apricot and stone fruit mixed.
Yeah, and it's got none of the drying qualities as like the Peru. It's kind of juicy.
It is very juicy.
Yeah.
This is juicier than what did we just have?
Bangkok TD.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree. It's good. It's different. I love the different flavors you can find. Some of the blueberry bombs I've thought of more as tea profiles. Yeah, you can definitely get to that point. I haven't had a particular blueberry bomb that was very tea-like yet. Mm-hmm. I actually haven't had a ton of tea-like coffees, although the ones I have had have come from Ethiopia, and they're more like jasmine, black tea, rose, those types of profiles. You can find them, but not a blueberry bomb that was very tea-like yet. The Kambata tends to retain some like milk chocolate structure support to it that is really nice. Although today it was a little lighter than we usually have, but that's not something I roasted. It was a buddy of mine. So this is good. Timor, yeah.
If you wanted more of that cocoa to come in,
a little darker roast. Yeah. And we did. I think I did a 14 and maybe a 16% of this Timor, and in the darker profiles, it was definitely a little more substantive. I don't know.
It was more.
I'm trying to say it was just a bigger body, and the cocoa was a little bit more present. This is really
before it being so juicy, so fruit flavored. It still holds its own. It isn't like it's light. It isn't lacking in body. It's a lighter body, but it's still holding up.
It's got just enough from its components that you can taste for it to stand on its own. Yeah, I agree.
A little syrupiness to it,
Like just slight. Yeah,
just a little bit.
That's good.
That's
I don't have anything bad to say about it. I do think it's gotten much better since we roasted.
Yeah.
As always,
it's holding up.
Like when you buy specialty coffee, like if you're getting it shipped to you, or if you're at a roastery or cafe, you want to pay attention to the roast dates. If it was just roasted like that day before, or the day before that, you might take it home and brew it and not get the best experience. In fact, I used to buy coffee from places and have it shipped to me where they tell me straight up, 2 weeks is what you want to be waiting, or a week to 2 weeks is what you want to be waiting to taste that coffee at its best, because the degas process, these coffee beans have carbon dioxide in them from the roast profile, from the roast process, and it takes a little bit of time for that carbon dioxide to escape the beans, and what's left is the taste you want to be tasting out of your coffee. So that carbon dioxide can influence the taste in such a way that makes things hard to pick apart. It makes it very difficult to understand what's happening. So like Kambata, if you don't wait, give it that 2 to 3 week time, things are just really muddy. You can taste some fruitiness, and you mostly taste this milk chocolate smoothness, and it's still a good coffee, but it's not going to be its best unless you give it that time. So you'll find that often in the case of this, in the case of the Kambata we just had, in the Banco Cotiti, basically everything we had today, minus the Peru that's only 2 days old, we're getting better coffee than we've had before. Like the time, about 2 weeks for everything that we've had other than the Peru, and the time was necessary. Like now it's tasting really, really good. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, I think that just about wraps it up today. We did 4 coffees, 1 decaf to start. The Peru decaf, Swiss water process. We did the Ethiopia Kambata. We did the Gadeb, Banco Cotiti, and the Timor. We are probably going to continue doing this format. If you like this format where we talk about the coffees that I roasted or other people roasted, give taste note descriptors. This is how I'm, continuously making progress, making mental notes of what I need to be doing. Do I go darker? Do I do this or that? This is helpful for me. I hope it's helpful for you guys. I will probably be back like next week. I'm going to do a roast stream again soon. I did that a couple of days ago just on Instagram. I thought that was pretty fun. So if you're on YouTube, please check out the Instagram. If you're on Instagram only, please check out the YouTube. I got links in the description or in the bio for Instagram to get over to the YouTube. We have fun. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us. And we end now. Yeah, there we go. All right. Bye, Instagram.